Welcome to Tri-Tip Valhalla.
Big thanks to borniak smokers for sponsoring this video.
I'm gonna make smoked tri-tip and I'm gonna give you my secret to the most delicious tri-tip recipe ever. Beef is getting more and more expensive. And if there's one thing I hate is to pay too much for good food. What I like to do is take the cuts that are affordable and that are, well, crazy delicious, like this one. These are two beautiful tri-tips. They got a beautiful fat cap on top of them. Look at that meat structure. Nice dark red meat, great intramuscular fat. These things look absolutely freaking amazing. The kilogram price of tri-tips may suggest otherwise, but these things are freaking amazing. They make one of the best steaks and they are comparable to picanha. Picanha is beautiful, tender, lean, and a nice fat cap on top. This is the same stuff. It works so well for barbecue. That's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna make a fresh herb mix as a crust for these beautiful steaks. And I'm starting off with some fresh parsley. I'm gonna take off the stalks and chop the parsley fine. Then I'm gonna take some fresh oregano and remove the leaves from the stalks. Chop the oregano fine and mix it in with the parsley. Of course, I can't leave out garlic, so I'm gonna take 4 garlic cloves and chop them fine. I'm gonna add 25 grams of mustard seeds. They're almost like sesame seeds. They give off a real nutty flavor, but if you bite into them, they disappear. And it's really gonna make this spice mixture stand out. To finish this off, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of fleur de sel and half a tablespoon of fresh ground pepper. Of course, I'm gonna need some olive oil to make it all stick together. This is around 100 milliliters. And now it's time to mix it up. I wanna bruise the leaves of the oregano and the parsley so they release their aromas and they become more sticky. I'm gonna put half of that herb mix on my tri-tips, but only on the meat side. I'm gonna rub this in, spread it out, and that's gonna form a nice little crust on my tri-tip. Once it sticks, I'm gonna flip the tri-tip around. I'm going to carve into the fat cap, creating little diamond shapes, and those diamond shapes will help render out the fat while they cook. I'm gonna season the fat cap sides with salt, and now comes the trick, because I'm gonna take these tri-tips and cook them in my borniak smoker. Now we need to talk about this smoker because I got some comments when we did a brisket video. We did the 4-2-10 method on a brisket, and a lot of people seem to don't know and don't understand what this thing is about. This smoker only costs 700 euros. This one is affordable, but it's also a precision cooker. It's absolutely spot on, always, all the time. This thing is not gonna give you that smoke ring, but it's gonna give you amazing smoke flavors. I'm gonna set the temperature by switching it on and then just dialing in the temperature. I'm gonna add some oak wood chips to the hopper. I'm gonna switch it on. You can see the worm wheel turning. That's going to transport the wood chips to this little tip. And that tip is going to be freaking hot and it's going to make the wood chips smoke. And now the wood chips are coming out, they're smoldering, and I'm going to put a little tray of water underneath them to catch them and put out that fire immediately. Because it's not the wood chips that are creating the heat, it's the electric element that sits in the back. And this is where things are about to get different. I'm going to take this tri-tip and hang it up. Look at that. This is one of the oldest ways to smoke meat, hanging from a hook in the smoker. In the Netherlands, we do a lot of smoking. We like smoked eel, we like smoked salmon. All the good things that are smoked in the Netherlands are hung. And there's a good reason for that. Because if you hang your meat up like this and put it in your smoker, it has a lot of free flowing air surface around it, which means the smoke can get everywhere. Unlike when you put it on a grill grate. Then you're gonna have these stripes in your meat. It's just not gonna be that beautiful. I'm gonna let this smoke at a temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. And in the meantime, you and I are gonna work on a side dish. I'm gonna take a cast iron pan and I'm gonna layer the bottom with bacon. And that's gonna be my protective layer.
But we are gonna eat it, right?
Yes, we are gonna eat it. You can never have enough bacon. Then I'm gonna flatten out the bottom of these mushrooms and place them on the bacon. I'm not gonna waste the stalks, I'm gonna drop them in between the mushrooms. It will be just a waste to get rid of them. Now I'm gonna take the rest of that herb mix and put it on these mushrooms. Of course, I'm gonna follow that up with some butter. Just look at how beautiful that looks. one of my proud moments. And I'm gonna add this to the smoker and I'm gonna place it underneath the tri-tips. I'm gonna put it in a rack, place my cast iron skillet in, and that fat and the juices from the tri-tip is gonna drip down into the mushrooms and it's going to cook the mushrooms and at the same time make them creamy and juicy, filled with beautiful beefy flavors. The tri-tips have been smoking for 1 hour and 15 minutes and look at how they look. Gorgeous smoke color, nice browning, and that means now I'm going to turn off the smoke element. And the tri-tips look freaking amazing, but look at the mushrooms. Simmering away in the butter, the bacon fat and the fat that rendered out of the tri-tips. I'm gonna smoke these tri-tips up to a temperature of 52 degrees Celsius core temperature. And in the meantime, I want to make a sauce out of these mushrooms. So I'm going to add a little bit of cream and a little bit of beef stock. Just enough to halfway cover the mushrooms. I'm going to close the lid and I'm going to let this continue to cook until the tri-tips have reached that core temperature of 52. Things like this makes me absolutely smile. We got that smoke on the tri-tip fat cap. Just look at how crispy that became. Now that's smoking perfection. And let's slice into this tri-tip. Look at how the grains run in this direction. So I'm going to start by cutting it into 3 pieces so we can make perfect cuts. And let's slice this up and take a look inside. Whoa. That is one perfect smoked tri-tip. Oh, welcome to Tri-Tip Valhalla. Of course, I'm gonna serve this up with some fresh cooked pasta. And here come our beautiful smoked mushrooms. We got that bacon, we got that smoked crust, beautiful mushrooms, soaked up all of that flavor. I want a big scoop of those mushrooms. Look at how that bacon just falls apart. The mushrooms are nice and juicy. And that is the bonus beef gravy mushrooms, rich and creamy. That's gonna be the sauce for our pasta. Final step is to load on the tri-tip. Now that is a plate to die for. Look at it, so gorgeous. We got the tri-tip with the crust sitting on top. We got the mushrooms at the bottom. We got the pasta, so we got everything that we need for a good healthy meal. And you've seen it all here on PitmasterX. So go check out our website, PitmasterX.com. See you guys next time. That's good.